Hi, I'm Buck Anderson. The rugby season's about to start and you've got 15 to 20 youngsters all keen and set to go. So where do you start? What do they need? How do you become an effective rugby coach? Being a junior rugby coach was never meant to be easy. It'll be a challenge, but hopefully a good challenge. This coaching resource is designed to make your training runs enjoyable and effective. To run an effective rugby practice, it is a good idea to formulate some specific objectives for the year. The 3 P's are a good start. P1, plenty of practice. Give the players lots of practice time. P2, purposeful. Each practice should have a purpose. P3, paced. Don't waste time at practices, maintain momentum. A good idea during the year is to make reference to these objectives to remind you and your team what's important at this level. Before a rugby practice can start, the coach needs to plan the session. Just turning up with a bag of balls isn't good enough. Depending on your grade and availability of children, this will vary. The important things to remember are that you need enough equipment and enough room to carry out your practice. There is a large array of rugby gear to use nowadays, but this can sometimes cloud what you are trying to achieve at your practice. We recommend the following. A whistle is always a good indicator for children to stop or start an exercise. It can also be a good way to save your voice and to get the players' attention. Make sure you have enough balls. It would be nice if you had enough balls for everybody in the team, but realistically these may not be available. Therefore, we recommend that there are enough balls for every pair. It is important that the players get to touch the ball frequently. If this is still not possible, the use of other shaped balls may eliminate this problem because most of the skills you are trying to reinforce are large ball skills. Also consider the size of the ball. Is it appropriate for the age group you are working with? We recommend a 2.5 for under 7s, a size 3 for under 11s and a 4 for under 13s. These are really handy in marking out an area, grids, relays and line formations. The more cones the better. Although handy for contact situations, these aren't a necessity for junior rugby practices. If you are going to use them, make sure that they too are the appropriate size. You obviously need some ground to practice on, and depending on your personal situation, this may vary. But you can actually get away with a very small area. For example, 20 metres by 20 metres if needed. Half a field is a good rule of thumb. Also define your boundaries. This stops children running a long way away or kicking the ball too far. You also need to consider the weather. Do you have a plan if it rains? Most teams can only fit 1 practice in for the week. Therefore, time is crucial in the development of the skills of the players. Practices going over an hour will probably lose the main goals for that session. These practices will also exceed the attention span of this age group. An hour or under is recommended. Remember though, P3, keep it paced. The final thing to consider is probably the most important one. What are the capabilities of your team? Who has played before and who hasn't? How old are they? What skills do they have and which ones are amiss? Too often we see coaches performing skills and drills that aren't appropriate to this level of players. Just because you saw the All Blacks performing a drill doesn't make it a good drill for junior players. A good way to structure your training is to think of P's. Purposeful, make sure there is a goal. Enjoyable, the practice should be fun and diverse. Active, all children involved at all times. Safe, correct technique is always taught and equipment used is as intended. Let the players know what you have planned for the session. This will help the players understand why they are performing the activities and they will feel more involved and committed to the practice. Not only does a warm-up reduce the chance of injury, it also prepares the mind and body for the activities that are to follow. A warm-up should last about 15 minutes, and these move from low intensity to a high intensity. The focus of all warm-up sessions should be with ball familiarisation and handling. Take an appropriate activity from the Skills and Drills CD-ROM, manual or black box skill cards. The best example for a warm-up drill is one that involves all the players frequently and is relevant to the skills you are trying to improve or maintain. The worst example of a warm-up drill must be run around the field a couple of times. Relay lines where 1 or 2 players are involved and the rest wait in line come a close second. You can use the inside the grid with a drill like pick up and place, outside the grid with a drill like around the cones, or not using a grid with follow the coach. Kicking, contact, handling, tackling and running are the main areas for individual skills. To find out more about these skills, look through the NZRU Skills and Drills CD-ROM. So, how do you teach a skill? Choose the best position for the demonstration. Consider wind, sun, group size, sound effects, echo, etc. Have the children sit or kneel and have no distractions. Use simple language, not too many words, and ask questions regularly to ensure clear understanding. Show the whole skill, then break it down in parts, and then link the parts to form the whole skill again. What are the key factors for these skills? Making a basic pass. Run straight. Hold the ball in 2 hands. Look at receiver. Swing the arms. Follow through. Pass at chest height in front of the receiver. Receiving the ball, catching a pass. Chin up, eyes open. Move on to the ball in a straight line. Extend the hands towards the ball. Watch the ball into the hands. Reinforce with a demonstration by creating an image of the skill in the mind of the child. Don't demonstrate what not to do. Select the appropriate practice form with the use of grids, circuits or line formations. Provide feedback during practice, but be specific, constructive and immediate. Don't talk too much. Attack, continuity, lineouts, scrums, defence and kickstarts are the main areas for unit skills. To practice these we can use the whole team, forwards or backs, or groups of defined positions, i.e. the back 3, depending on what skill you want to develop. Using the help of another parent or assistant coach can be an effective way to coach backlines or forward packs. It can also ease your load and overall team management. This usually involves correct positioning for first phase, second phase situations and combinations. Team trainings can often be too general, therefore it is important to pick one facet of play that you want to work on. For example, option taking around the field. Rugby is contact once the junior player has reached age 7. Not only are there some safety issues to consider in practices, but also getting the players used to contact is important. Most contact comes in the tackle area, and it is imperative to advance through this skill with a progressive approach. After working from high intensity, always gradually move down to a low intensity with a good warm down. This is good habit forming behaviour. It is also a good time to reinforce your practice goals. By maintaining a coach's diary over the season, you can make notes on individual coaching sessions, record performance and highlight areas of further coaching, and note any injuries. The coach's diary can be invaluable as a future reference for planning. Once you have a structure, identified your objectives and content for your coaching session, you are then ready to complete the fine points of your session plan. Keep in mind that some of your objectives will be attainable in one coaching session, while others may take a number of sessions or even the entire season to attain. Remember, you want to catch them, kids need to be motivated, and a simple game or drill will help. Teach them. Select one skill at a time. Introduce technique. Practice them. You need to give opportunity for players to learn the skill. With any junior rugby practice, concentrate on the skills. By increasing the skills of the players, you'll have them and the team performing well and give you the satisfaction of having done a great job. So get out there, have fun and enjoy being a junior rugby coach.